Sometimes from creative minds, a new vision emerges. Like a bubble, it rises, bursting to reality. Endowed with the power of the new, it arrives. Its qualities displayed in brilliant clarity, graceful, timeless. A thought simply executed to perfection. New Ford Falcon, simply stunning.
All right, so welcome back to another episode here. It is January 25th, about noon here, and we are picking up the first project vehicle of the year. I don't need another project vehicle, but we all know how that goes. And I want to say, because I got a lot of Australian viewers here, happy Australian Day, and what better way to celebrate here as an American than pick up another project vehicle that is from Australia. All right, so if you've seen our video on the Ford Ute, you may know what this is. This is an '89 Ford Falcon sedan. It's not a Ute, and this thing is obviously from Australia here because it is right-hand drive. So this is a pretty much older version of the Ford Ute. I don't know, was predecessor the word for that? But what are the odds? It's 45 minutes away from home. Things seem to come in twos for me, and I just really could not pass the opportunity up. I don't need another project, but I think this is going to be a fun one. All right, so this is my new 1989 Ford Falcon, EA Falcon, and let's see what's under the hood here. Yeah, so this is a total project, but I bought it knowing that it would be a project because I've got some plans for this thing, but a little long story short, if you saw our last video, we bought the FG, had it here. This thing popped up 45 minutes away from home, and I just really could not pass the deal up because we have some more things coming for this car that are not pictured here or with the car currently. So what we're looking at here is the 3.9 liter single overhead cam. The Bear is a dual overhead cam. I explained that in the last video. It's got a, I don't know if this is a Chinese turbo or what it is. I think it's a diesel turbo from the numbers that I looked up there. But essentially the car was in South Carolina before the previous owner got it. It was running and driving. So he took the ECU off it because I guess the ECU was a Bosch ECU and it's too expensive compared to what he sold the car for, etc., etc. Doesn't matter to me because this is actually going to come out of here at some point. So it's a little teaser for another video down the line there, but I don't think I'll be getting this engine going. I'm going to rip all this out of here because it's honestly going to cost more to get this one going than it would be to swap something in, if you know what I'm saying. So let's give them a little walk around here because this thing actually has a pretty cool story. We'll go to the driver's side here. We'll show you the odometer here, but the car does look a little worse for wear. You probably can't see it in the video too much, but paint's faded. It has a ton of hail damage. All the window stripping and everything's been weathered. The car sat outside at some point. I don't have the full story on this thing. I've kind of got some bits and pieces, kind of playing connect the dots. But if you step in here and look at the odometer on the car, it's in kilometers. That's 1,572 kilometers, which in bald eagle terms, miles, that is like 930 something miles. So the car, from what I can tell, based on looking at the underside and looking at the Carfax and the story that I've got from a couple of the previous owners, means the miles are true. It obviously does not look like a 1,500 kilometer car because I think it sat outside and there's more to the story that I don't know yet. So hopefully we'll be figuring that out. But I mean, yeah, it's a project. I don't need any more projects, but we got the back seat here. It's full of miscellaneous plastic pieces. It's just weird because the car sat outside, so you can see like a lot of this stuff is weathered from the sun, trim-wise. But it's just a lot of like the seats and even like in the trunk here. I get it, this is like closed, but like all the stickering and this trim piece here and some of the stuff like the spare tire even under here, like the underbody, other than like a little surface rust here and there, is actually super, super nice. So I think it's true miles. I'm not 100% sure yet, but the cool thing is I was doing some reading. When these cars came out, Ford sent X number like really low, so the numbers like 1 to 3 to the United States to Jack Roush, to get a V8 put in them, because these factory came with an inline-six, which is what this car has. The turbo is aftermarket. But I'm going to read you a little spot from this article here. It says, this Falcon doesn't look like anything special, but the little brass tag screwed on the front and rear number plate mark this car as something extraordinary. So if we close the trunk here a little bit, brass tag. So a friend of a friend of a friend talked to somebody at Ford, and essentially that's a PR tag. So I assume when this car was new, it was a PR car, press car. They drilled that on there so they wouldn't lose the car, or they could identify it. That's what I heard from my intel at Ford Australia. So pretty much this is a whole magazine. I have the magazine coming. It explains how they're putting the V8 in it, shipped it here. I'll show you on camera. I'm not sure if you can see it too well there, but again, I'll try to clip a magazine picture in there. So long story short, I think this car has more of a story than any of the previous owners knew, because with that tag there and this magazine article, I think somehow, I mean, it's here and it never went home, because this car is an 89 and it's been titled since 2005, 2006. So I've got to do some more digging, but I don't know, I just couldn't pass the deal up. Wiring's, junk, that's all gonna come out. That was to the Bosch ECU the guy had, not a big deal. A lot of this stuff here would have been off the factory engine, which is what's in there, of course, but it's got the shield for the fan there, the factory intake. That is an intercooler that should be on it, I assume, because of the turbo. Factory manifold, alternator, a rat's nest here of parts, factory radio, just a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Cool thing is, got this owner's manual, Ford Falcon, Fairmont Ghia. This guy right here in the magazine was the CEO of Ford at the time. So the magazine, he wanted to bring back the V8s, Jack Nassar, and he brought back the V8. So this car is an 89, which is the first year that they came out. So later down the road, I'm not sure exactly what year, he actually got the V8s put back in these cars. So this is straight out of the owner's manual, a photo of him and stuff. I hope to be in contact with him because I think he has some sort of a connection to this car. Some other stuff that came with it would be, I guess this is just like a repair manual. We've got 2 of those. And then one of the cool things I think on this car, I'm not going to go through all these here, but there are tons and tons of wiring schematics and paperwork, and there's a, I'm not sure where it is in here, but like $100 here, $500 here, $200 here. A lot of just parts that somebody must have put on this thing and just never got it done. So I don't know the full exact story, like I said, but it's here. We have a plan for it. It's going to be back on the road at some point with another drivetrain in here. We'll actually come back one more time here. This is a little teaser here for my guys at Tough Mounts. These actually came with the car. This is not a shameless plug, but Jason over at Tough Mounts make these, and if you see that there, that's a little teaser on what is to come. So I didn't need any more projects, but this thing's cool. I think it's a one of one. I don't know who would be dumb enough to buy one of these here anyways, or import one. So I think it has more of a story to it than I know, like I said. So we're gonna do some research of our own. We found a insurance card from the owner that had it back in 05, 06. So hop on the phone, give him a call, see if we can get a hold of him, and maybe track down and get some more details about this thing. Because like I said, with that brass tag and that magazine article, that makes me believe that there's more to the story that we don't know. So stay tuned, make sure you're subbed, comment, share. Let me know what you want to see about this thing. If you got any questions, leave a comment below, and hope you guys follow along for the ride, because this is going to be a cool one.